What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome along to the second piece of content about F1 23 up to its release. This is the official gameplay features deep dive. Got released about an hour ago at this point. So the plan for today is we're going to jump right into it. I'm just going to be reacting to the trailer. I say trailer, it's just more like a bit of analysis. And we'll look into it. I'll jump in wherever I see anything that needs talking about. So yeah, we'll just jump right into this one and see what they've got to offer this time around. I'm excited for it. The reveal trailer I posted about a week ago at this point. So you want to check that one out before you see this one to get yourself caught up. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Welcome to F1 23's official deep dive
part
hello. One with a focus on
immediately off the start. Look at that. Look how good the Qatar circuit looks. That's a great start. I've got a full screen this here. Look how brilliant that looks, like all lit up like that. It's fantastic. We'll get some more shots of that later on in the video. But yeah, 10 seconds in, I'm already quite hyped. Let's have a look.
Improvements, new circuits, and more.
Right, so these are the four things we'll be looking at in today's video. So of course, the 35% race distance, the new distance for F1 23, the handling and the physics, which honestly I don't notice year upon year. I sort of just drive it as it goes. The new tracks, obviously Vegas and Qatar, and of course the red flags, which everyone's really interested about. We need to know what's going on with those.
F1 23 delivers a universal leap forward in gameplay with innovation to the vehicle physics engine for improvements to handling, low-speed traction and overall drivability.
Looks very nice.
As a result, you'll feel more predictable and authentic vehicle behaviour on track in three key areas: acceleration, braking and rotation. To achieve this, the development team first updated the physics calculations for the slip of tyres and how this interacts with the inertia of the car itself. Real F1 team feedback has been incorporated into F1 23 gameplay.
You know, when the guys at Codemasters and the team came approaching me to say, look, we've tweaked the new game, give it a go, see what you feel, things you like, things you don't like. Felt like there's been quite a big change with it.
In terms of that change there, we've been hearing a lot of people who tested the beta and saying about the fact that it felt more like F1 2020 did, which the general consensus in the community is that that's the last good game in terms of driving just the game itself. So the fact that they're saying there's a change and everyone's been saying there's been a change back to 2020, then that's a positive sign if you ask me. And yeah, honestly, I never noticed it too much, if I'm being honest. I noticed a slight switch between the 2021 and 22. But to be honest, my approach was just being to get in and drive it, to be fair. So I may not notice too much when the actual game comes out. We'll have to wait and see.
The balance between aerodynamic grip from the cars and mechanical grip from the tyres was fine-tuned to get it much closer to real life.
And it looks fantastic.
In turn, enhancing the authenticity of every drive. The way the engine delivers torque has been refined, making it more progressive relative to your gear and throttle input, which enriches all of these other changes to make throttle response more realistic. The underfloor of the cars was also improved to make interactions with curbs and rumble strips more true to life. You'll really feel all of this new handling detail through a force feedback steering wheel, but controller drivers, listen up.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go back for a second and have a look at this wheel here, because it actually looks very, very clean compared to the old one. One second. Okay, so look at that. Look how much nicer the one on the left looks compared to the one on the right. Of course, this one we've had it for a good couple of years now. It sort of needs a change. I mean, look at the 2023 wheel. It looks there's so much more colour to it. It looks a lot nicer. Of course, we've got the ERS there on the bottom. Look at the comparison here. So here's the ERS the bar for the cockpit cam on here. So it's just a yellow box. A yellow rectangle, that's all it really is, and a percentage as well as the deploy per lap. But this looks a lot nicer. It glows very nicely. It might be the lighting, but it still looks quite nice. Not sure these green and red bars here on the sides are. And of course, I'm under the impression this probably means that the orange probably means that it's not being enabled at that point. I'm assuming that I'll most likely go green when we enable ERS. But no, in terms of comparison between the two, it looks very, very nice. It looks so fresh, and so I'm liking the change. Graphically, it looks about the same in terms of the last couple of years, because obviously we're still using the same game engine. Next year, we're going to be getting a new game engine. I'm looking forward to seeing how much the UI has changed as well. So have a look further into the video, see what comes up.
Steering wheel, controller technology. Drivers, listen up. Introducing precision drive controller technology in F1 23.
This was hyped a lot, so let's see what we've got.
Transformative controller input tech to enable a more precise and rewarding driver experience on standard controllers.
Honestly, looking at it, I won't be using this much because I play on wheel. I've done so for the last like 6 years or so. But of course, for pad players, which obviously in some cases might go overlooked in some respects, despite the fact the majority of people play on pad. I mean, I'm liking the idea of it. I mean, it seems like it's going to be a lot more like the it's getting the same sort of treatment as the controls for wheel is. Because if you look, it's the exact same settings in that respect, and you can calibrate it that same way. So yeah, it's nice to have sort of that level playing field for controller players.
Whether your driving style is smooth or aggressive,
oh, hello. Okay, I'll stop it here again. Look at the UI here. They've overhauled it almost completely. Look how nice that looks. They've got they've now got the team logos in there on the top left. They've changed it to look more like the actual F1 TV HUD. So they've got it says race at the top of the F1 logo. Of course, the 5. It's still 5 cars available on the timer, which is... Honestly, I'm okay with that. I was very pleased in 2020 when they made the change from 3 cars to 5 cars. I felt like that helped us massively. I'm hoping perhaps the timing will also be a bit more to the point in terms of how often it changes. I mean, obviously, I'm not expecting like to the millisecond, but it's nice. It looks very good. So the tire logos have changed as well. The UI in the top right has changed. Yeah, honestly, I like it. And there we go. We've got the ERS there on the steering wheel as well. So the bar's gone down to the point where okay, looking at it, I'm starting to see what those green and red bars are for. So the green, I'm assuming, will most likely light up when ERS is being used, and I'm thinking the red one will go on when you use your deploy for the laps. Obviously, there's only a certain amount you can use as laps go by. But honestly, again, the whole thing looks very nice, save for the graphics, which honestly haven't changed much, but I don't mind that. It looks very clean. I honestly like the fresh look.
Drive will elevate confidence for controller players, especially during those intense wheel-to-wheel racing moments that make F1 so thrilling.
Here we go.
Real
35%.
F1 race distances range anywhere from about 44 laps to 78, give or take, depending on the circuit. When you're playing a video game, you might not want to commit to a full Grand Prix, even though it'd be the most realistic experience. To alleviate this, F1 23's new 35% race distance option creates an ideal balance that enables you to use a realistic race setup and strategy where tyre wear is still crucial, but you're not having to commit to race a full-length Grand Prix.
Okay, so in terms of this 35% race distance, I like the idea because there's a lot of people who believe that 25% is probably a bit too short for strategists to have much of a say in the race. It's just the one stop, simple as that. But there's also people who don't have time to play a whole 50% race or failing that whole 100%, which is obvious. I don't know many people who play full distance, if I'm being honest. But I've been considering it. I've been considering whether I'm going to use 35% in some cases. I'm thinking perhaps the sprint weekends, where of course there's more racing to do. I may use 35% then, just to keep the video times down. Let you guys know down in the comments what you want to see in terms of how long we want my videos to be when I start doing F1 23 content later on next month when it comes out. And yeah, I'll happily listen because, like I say, I'd like to give it a go. I'd like to see if the complexity of the race changes at all in terms of strategy and what the AI do in comparison to obviously the shorter race distance. So yeah, you guys let me know and I will decide close to the game's release.
35% race distance was first pioneered for F1 esports to give a balance of strategy and excitement. With this new setting, you can specify how you want your race weekend to play out, and races will be more accessible.
Hang on. What's Albon doing in second place there? Okay, I'm assuming this is like equal grids or something, because there's no way that's real. Albon in second place. I don't believe that for a second in that Williams.
Standpoint. Building
here we go.
The existing safety car feature, red flags are now in the game in F1 23. The system now monitors track conditions and determines whether to trigger a virtual safety car, a full safety car, or a red flag.
There it is. Right, so red flag has been activated. We've got the graphic at the top. Red flag, race suspended, car start in the pit lane. Do not exceed delta pace, no overtaking. So, given this there's a countdown here. I'm assuming at this point in time that either the AI takes control going into the pits or just transport you straight back to the pit lane, and we see from there. I like the graphic change as well. The red flag up there in the top left. The detail on the outside has changed. So yeah, again, another good example of the UI. We get to see the bit in the bottom corner. It hasn't changed too much. Looks a bit more fresh. There's a nice change there. Honestly, it looks good. I like it.
The sensitivity of red flags can be adjusted.
Oh, now this is huge. This is huge. Increased red flags. How on earth is that going to work? Are we just saying red flag for everything? Right. So yeah, we'll look at here in the settings. So red flag allows you to specify if red flag can be displayed in a session suspended. The higher the setting, the more likely an incident can result in a red flag. And then obviously it's on increased here. And what's this? We can affect license level. I'm assuming that's for a multiplayer lobby with the looks of it. Because I'm thinking that it'll be like perhaps open lobbies. If you choose to create an open lobby, that mean potentially that maybe we're looking at potentially open lobbies affecting, like unranked lobbies affecting your safety license rating. I'll have to look and see in that later on if we get any multiplayer info before the game's release.
To the safety car feature, a variety of things can trigger a red flag, like debris on track, cars stopping on track, extreme wet conditions, and more. AI cars can initiate red flags.
Right, new multiplayer liveries. Okay, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't like the look of any of these. I'm planning on potentially doing my team this year over Driver Crew. You guys let me know what you want to see in the comments. Honestly, based off these liveries, I can't seem to see anyone that I like the look of. It might just be the colour choices on these ones, because obviously a bit random, but I can't seem to find an actual design I like the look of. I'll have a further look into them, perhaps later on, leading up to the release, and we'll see from there. But honestly, not liking the look of the multiplayer cars this year. Hopefully they bring some back from F1 22.
The result of racing incidents, but they're more likely during a multiplayer event when users are racing wheel to wheel. The new red flag feature also adds a new strategy element to race day. Okay,
there it is. Right, so that confirms it. So red flags, AI will take control, I'm assuming, for 5 seconds, or you'll keep control for 5 seconds, or just teleport you straight back to the pit lane. And this is the big thing. A major incident has occurred on track and the red flag's in effect. All vehicles will return to the pits whilst the incident is dealt with. Tyres may be changed during the stoppage, and some types of damage may be repaired before the race restarts. So when it says some type of damage, I'm assuming it'll most likely mean front and rear wing and side pods. Anything that can be damaged regularly just through contact. Of course, obviously internal stuff is off limits. And tyre changes. That's the big thing. One thing I'm not seeing yet is there going to be a choice between standing and rolling starts. Because we've only ever seen standing starts in F1, but I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that rolling starts, but start from the safety car, come back in, then we just go back to racing. I'm pretty sure that can happen, we just haven't seen it at all yet. So I have to wait and see on that, but I'm assuming it'll be standing starts. But I like the idea of red flags now, it being in the game. Obviously, everyone was very hyped for that. They wanted it back, they've got it back, so something to be thankful for all the ungrateful ones who are just moaning on EA and Codemasters for not giving them what they want. So they've got what they want. So yeah, we'll see just what it looks like here.
Under a red flag, you're allowed to adjust your race strategy, fit new tyres, and repair some damage, just like in real F1 races.
Okay, that looks good. I like that. Oh, here we go, last bit.
Circuits arrive in F1 23.
Oh, right, hang on. So we need to have a look at this ourselves here. So this is Las Vegas then. It's the Vegas Strip with the Eiffel Tower there from the Strip. I mean, look how clean it looks in terms of just graphic. Okay, I'm going to mute this just for a moment. We'll perhaps go back in a moment and have another look. But in terms of just design itself, and then Losail as well, at night that looks really, really nice. It's all lit up, and I'm assuming it's a night race in Vegas this year. So this looks very, very nice. Honestly, I've seen the track design itself. The track design doesn't look brilliant in my eyes, but I like the look of it all lit up like this. I want to know how they managed to make it look so good, and I'm pretty sure they mention it at some point in here.
The anticipated Las Vegas circuit has been built from the ground up in F1 23, and the game will be the first chance.
Whoa! Okay, so for looking at this under the lights, that looks, from the cockpit cam, that looks really, really nice. I'm loving the look of it.
And F1 drivers themselves to experience the track ahead of the race.
This looks sick.
In game, the track will be.
Like, look at that. Look at how nice the cars are on the lighting. Now, potentially, I'm hoping that this is a random thoughts come to mind. I'm hoping that this isn't any part of CGI from Breaking Point, because that could be a nightmare if this is just CGI and the game actually doesn't look this good. But look at it. It's incredible.
As accurate as possible. It was designed from thousands of reference photos from around Las Vegas.
Google Maps.
A huge amount of photogrammetry data was acquired from the Vegas Strip for ultimate authenticity. For LaSalle, official...
Oh, okay, right, here we go. Okay, so LaSalle under the lights, again, looks very, very nice. They've always gone for that same sort of lighting in terms... It feels very similar to Bahrain's lighting in that respect. I'm assuming, as long as there's not a huge glow down the main straight, that'll be the crucial thing. I'm hoping that there isn't. But no, in terms of detail, it looks very, very nice.
Computer-aided design combined with ArcGIS World Atlas
Look at this,
aerial
it's
imagery.
fantastic. From a distance, that you could almost mistake that for looking realistic. I'm sorry to say it, but I know a lot of people might not like this, but you can honestly mistake that for being the real thing, because that looks really, really good. Is this laser scanned? I'm hoping it's laser scanned.
Data and photogrammetry of the circuit were integrated to create the most accurate representation of...
Down the main straight, that looks really, really nice. Okay, so I'm seriously looking forward to driving Qatar. It's almost a shame it's at the end of the season, so I have to get through about 20 or so episodes before I actually get to the Qatar race. Or most likely what I may do, I might drive some of the tracks on the day. So, yeah, it looks fantastic. I'm really liking it.
The new track. And when F123 launches, you'll be able to race at some additional fan favourite circuits like Portimao, Paul Ricard and Shanghai.
Why do we bring Paul Ricard back? What's the need? I mean, I'm not complaining, extra tracks, but... Oh, it's good to see Portimao and Shanghai back. Of course, we weren't meant to have a Chinese Grand Prix this year, so that makes sense. But in terms of Portimao and Paul Ricard, considering there's not actually a Portuguese Grand Prix or a French Grand Prix that were even so much a schedule for this year, I'm confused as to why we're bringing them back. I think it's just probably people like them. It makes for extra content.
F123 was built to give you more control on track and to provide a more realistic feeling drive every time you play. Tune in to part 2 of the F123 Deep Dive series on the 19th of May.
Right then, so that is the video. Honestly, that was really, really enjoyable. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what there is further down the line in terms of the month. Of course, we'll have more stuff in terms of Breaking Point about F1 World, and there'll be some creator hands-on content as well, which honestly I'm surprised that EA didn't reach out. I don't know, maybe they just haven't got my email or something. But regardless, you guys, that is the end of the video. I do hope you've enjoyed this one. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that trailer. I hope you did too, and looking forward to the release of it. Make sure to like, share and subscribe for all future F123 content as it drops. We'll be reacting to it, breaking it all down before the release on June 13th, which will be when we'll start making content. And make sure to check out my Road to GOAT Driver Career series. There'll be a link to that in the top right hand corner of your screen. Until next video, guys, you have a good day, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.